Awesome. Thank you so much for being here and for doing this training. I'm excited about it. Today we're going to talk about managing CRAs to improve study outcomes. So we know that that is a topic of great interest and importance in our industry. So we definitely want to take time to talk about it. I'm going to tell you a little bit, just very briefly, about me here at the beginning, and that is that I've been in the industry for quite some time and have done a lot of things, mostly in quality assurance. That's the bulk of my career is in quality. And I've done a lot of performance improvement things with different initiatives and that sort of thing. And I'm also a licensed counselor. So a lot of this that we talk about with people management is kind of near and dear to my heart. So we're going to walk through it. And if there's at any point, if there's any questions or anything that would be helpful, please let me know. So we're going to talk about several different things. And our objectives today are to define the Human Performance Improvement, or HPI model, to recognize and really talk about a human performance improvement CRA management model. So the model itself is not necessarily specific to one industry or another, but we're going to really focus it in on what it looks like to manage CRAs in that space. We're also going to apply the model into current practice, looking toward a proactive model for CRA management, and then also managing performance issues. So how do we keep issues from occurring, and then how do we manage them if they do? We're going to look at some case scenarios. So along the way, I'll tell some stories of different things and really put the model into a practical application. So first of all, this is really geared towards supervisors of CRAs. So CRA managers, leads, project managers, vendor managers, and so on and so forth. When we say vendor managers, that can mean a lot of different things, and it really depends on what kind of organization that you're at. And ultimately, CRAs are assigned to their sites, and they're the performance manager of the site. So you are performance managers of performance managers. So it's a little bit of a tongue twister. But our role in this is to oversee how CRAs are doing what they're doing and helping them be successful so that they can manage the performance of the investigator site. So performance management and improvement, it can be a little bit nebulous, and a lot of people have different ideas about it. But really, this is a science. There's actual science around this, quite a bit of research around performance management and improvement, and it involves logical processes and application. So this isn't an inherent thing, right? This is not something that people just necessarily pick up or that is always built in. It may not be always part of processes, and there needs to be an eye to that for putting it in. But essentially, this is a scientific approach to managing the performance of people. And obviously, the human performance improvement aspect of it speaks to the fact that it is the performance of people that we are looking at here. So we know that monitoring is a required activity for FDA-regulated research, and truly any regulated research. If we look at ICH, GCP, E6, R2, that really is very clear on monitoring and how it is necessary for appropriate conduct of a clinical trial. Also, we know that adequate monitoring directly correlates with project risk management. So we want to manage the risks in a project, and risk management has been a buzzword in the industry for around about the last 10 years. And some of those risks include financial, regulatory, human subject protection, all kinds of things, getting in good data, and all that significantly affects the outcome of product development and approval, right? So we have a project that isn't well monitored, then it really puts not only the human subject at risk, but also puts our data at risk, and we certainly don't want to do that. And those things put many other things at risk. So therefore, sponsors must be effective in their management of CRA performance. It's a really essential and important thing, and it's something that I know a lot of companies think about and talk about and want to do, and those are sometimes we don't know how. So we're going to talk about the how here. So we really want to promote improvement where gaps are identified that impact the goals overall in individual monitoring. So not only is there the big picture of how this is going to impact the entire study or program or even department, but also how is it going to affect the individual. So we want to look at both the macro and micro perspectives so that we're not missing something important. Performance management and improvement is science. Again, it involves logical processes and applications. Some of the research that I've read about this dates back some of the earliest thinkers into the 1920s and 30s. So as a science, generally speaking, it's relatively young.